Rafi Devers is a San Francisco Giant, as broken by Robert Murray. How about a Burt bomb this fine Sunday afternoon? I could not believe this one. Ryan and I were kind of tossing around the idea of maybe doing this one tomorrow. We did record halfway through the week this week, and then Rafi Devers gets moved to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's like I was literally in the middle of texting Gage. I'm like, hey, you want to record? And then Robert Murray's tweet comes up, and I'm like, oh, hold up.
Never mind.
Didn't even get to click send. Rafi Devers is a San Francisco Giant, man. This is mind-blowing. I don't know. I know there was some trade talks, but I wasn't expecting it on a Sunday afternoon in June, at least, right? I thought this at earliest was going to be something that we'd come back to this offseason, especially after Boston just went and swept the Yankees to kind of get back in the playoff race.
Yeah, one of my favorite Twitter accounts is the, baseball moments right before disaster or something like that. And Boston tweeted out Rafi, and this one's gone, tweeting about his homer this afternoon. And then, Rafi is now gone for the Red Sox. So that was an interesting one. This return here, man, is really confusing. Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, James Tibbs, and Jose Bayo for Rafi Devers. Kyle Harrison, 2020 third rounder here. Highly rated prospect. Red Sox make some tweaks to this guy, talk about adding some velo to him, some messing around with his arsenal a little bit. I think you have a solid arm on your hands with this guy.
Yeah, Kyle Harrison, it was just announced that Harrison will be optioned to AAA. So, yeah. I mean, the Red Sox, this is a rotation that we're saying is one of the best in baseball early in the year, but they've had their troubles outside of Garrett Crochet. So it's like, you're getting a 23-year-old pitcher who has a 4.5 ERA. It's like, okay, sure, he can maybe help out. And then you send him down to AAA. So really confusing move right there. You go and get Jordan Hicks, 6.5 ERA, a 3.5 FIP. So definitely some difference there. He's struggled for the most part for sure.
Yeah.
James Tibbs, first rounder last season, a guy I really like. Jose Bayo, he's only in rookie ball, 20 years old. He has some nice numbers so far. I'll be honest, I was expecting a little more. But then you go and hear that the Giants are paying all of Devers' contract, every single penny. So it's like, okay, maybe this makes a little more sense now.
Yeah, the thing that I don't like about this year is that there's way too much room to grow for these players. That's good and that's also bad. But when you're talking about a player like Rafi Devers, I think that there's some Mookie trade PTSD there among Red Sox fans, and that's why you're getting a lot of that. But like you said, James Tibbs drafted 13th overall last year. Although this guy has a lot of hype, he's still a prospect at the end of the day. Same with Jose Bayo. Jordan Hicks has been an absolute mess in 2025. But he just doesn't strike out many guys. He's a ground ball guy, which, you can say what you want about ground ball pitchers, but you don't really move them for players like Rafi Devers in my eyes. As this move as a whole, to me, pushes back their competitive window in a major fashion. This is not a move that I liked for the Red Sox for that reason, and also a major vibes loss. Rafi Devers has been a long-time, tenured Red Sox, and to move him is not... it's a really bad move for vibes. And although, it's like vibes this, vibes that, at the end of the day, that matters a whole lot. If you're moving guys that mean a lot to teams, that can have a significant impact on a baseball team. And, I know it all too well when the Brewers moved Hader. Like, that team collapsed without Hader. It was insane to see, and I don't want to say that I think the Red Sox are going to follow suit, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, here's Boston right now, half a game back, right? 5-game winning streak, they've been playing some great baseball, and then you go trade their face to the franchise. This is part of the reason why I'm like, what the hell are the Red Sox doing? And I think it was from Baseball America, they said this is two different organizations right now. The Giants who are going for it, they're competing with the Dodgers. They're playing right now. I think they're down 5-3 in the 7th inning. But the Giants are right with the Dodgers in the NL West, right? Who expected that? I sure as hell didn't. I know you didn't. The Dodgers are supposed to be the clear favorites in this division, but the Giants are battling. They went and signed Willie. I know he's had his struggles, but to go and get him, he's been a little bit better recently. It's like the Giants are going for it. right? And when it was Arson Judge, or they've always been in these rumors for these big boys, and now here they are finally getting those big boys, while Boston continues to operate like more of a small market. And I mean, it's since Chris Sale, Mookie Betts, those trades have been absolutely horrible for this team. We'll see what happens here. But Boston's like, oh, we're a younger team now with Christian Campbell and Marcelo Mayer and Roman Anthony, 3 very good players. But it's like, can you really trade your face of the franchise at the same time? No, these guys should have all grew together. You still need your main player, and instead you go and trade him for a package that, to me, shouldn't have convinced you to trade him.
Yeah, a bag of Skittles is what I saw today. A bag of chips for Rafi Devers is what I saw. The other thing, too, is now, you said something, Red Sox not thinking, doing this moves. They didn't shop him. I saw a report from Just Baseball that the Red Sox did not shop him at all, meaning that they didn't even look around for his, for an opportunity to move this guy otherwise and maybe get an original deal. That's a little concerning if that is the truth.
I saw that Jeff Passan on baseball during the baseball game, the Dodgers-Giants. Christ, I can't talk. I'm sorry. I said that teams called Boston in the past month or so, and Boston wasn't shooing them down instantly. Like, sometimes it's like, hey, what do you want for, if someone called the Brewers, what do you want for a trio? We'd hang up instantly, right? Like, haha, funny. But no, they're like, hey, let's talk a little bit. So they maybe not have been calling around, but they were still interested in trading him this whole time.
Yeah, that was per Buster only, Buster ESPN through Just Baseball Media. So I don't know, man. That's a little scary. On the other side of this, the Giants, I think, get a huge player. The big thing for the Giants has kind of been this team doesn't really have an offense. They're just kind of finding ways to get it done. Now Rafi Devers is your way to get it done. He adds on to a very solid lineup. I mean, it's missing a big dog. It's got a big dog now. This is a very, very big move for the Giants. I think, like Ryan said, this is kind of them saying, hey, we're all in here. We're not looking to slow down. And I think that's going to make for a phenomenal NL West finish, and we're only in June.
I disagree on the offensive part. I mean, they've had a couple weaker spots, but overall, I think it's been fine.
Okay, how about this? They don't have guys that you would generally consider. Like they're having good seasons for their standard, but they, it's not like some superstar numbers.
That's okay. That's
what I was getting at. They don't have a guy with just knockout superstar numbers. I saw that Rafi Devers now leads the Giants in just a bunch of offensive categories. Yeah, now you have your offensive...
That's what happens when you're a top 10 hitter in baseball.
Right. Now you have your offensive superstar, and you have your guy to go to in big spots like Rafi. So the Giants, a big move to kind of cement themselves in this conversation of, we are for real. Ryan, I'll ask it to you so that you don't ask it to me. How do the Giants have it? I mean, are the Giants going to win the NL West?
I still have to put my money on the Dodgers.
Yep,
but I will say 2 hours ago, you asked me that question. I would have said I still have no hope in them to win this division. I'm still not. I believe they're a good team, but I don't believe they have a shot. Now I will say, after adding Devers, there is legit hope and a legit chance for the San Francisco Giants to win this division.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. We talked about this Dodgers lineup so much that, they are, to me, the gold standard. I don't think that there is, up and down, a better roster construction in baseball than the Dodgers. This offseason was kind of the very, very proof of that. And so now, the Giants, to have Rafi, to have, these guys getting it done for them, and the pitching staff to be able to hold it down, I mean, this is big time for the Giants, and I agree with you, man. They have a legit shot to win the NL West, and that is insane considering where both of us had them at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm. The funniest part here, though, is the whole reason Devers was, kind of, I don't want to say he was not happy with Boston, but, there was a little stuff happening, right? Like, play here. And he's like, no, I don't want to play here. He still can't play third base now because they have, Matt Chapman, one of the greatest, best defensive players in baseball at third base. I know he's injured, but he's coming back soon. So it's like same situation. He's going to be the DH for the most part.
Yep, not going to get you. You can move places, still not going to get what you're going to want there, Rafi. How about that?
Now, the question with Boston here after all this is like, oh, okay, great. You went and dumped $300 million. Okay. You could afford that as the Boston Red Sox. Now, for Boston to be successful with this trade is you have to go and spend that money somewhere else.
Agreed.
Right? And you go and look at the free agent class this offseason, Kyle Tucker is going to be the top guy. Well, one problem is he's going to get paid a lot more than $300 million. And the second problem is the Red Sox don't really need an outfielder. You already kind of have a log jam out there with all their, great players, some prospects. They don't need that. They don't need Kyle Tucker. If you're Boston, do you go and spend that money on a different free agent? Do you go and extend Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, Marcelo Mayer, the younger top prospects? What do you do now if you're Boston?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because I think that as you look at the Red Sox, there's a lot of options. And for some teams, that scares them to have way too many options with $300 million, which is insane to think about because I don't know the highest tenured player on the Brewers, but 300 million is a lot of money is what I'm trying to say. I personally, if you're making moves like moving Rafi Devers, you're obviously not worried about winning now. You're just not. I think that the move to them has to be to go extend their guys. Just keep their guys locked down, the guys that they believe in. Because, like I said, it's a conservative move to move Rafi. You're not obviously looking to win now in a move like this. So, really doubling down and being like, hey, these are the guys we believe in. Here's how much money we're willing to put into all these guys feels like the right move to me. And it aligns most with this move here.
Mm-hmm. And now if you're Boston, you said like you're not looking to win now. I agree with that if you're trying to player the caliber as Devers, but you're still, can I say, within striking distance in the East, 6.5 games back. You're only half game back out of a wild card spot. You should be looking to still win now. And we keep on saying that we believe Boston is still much better than the way they've been playing, and that this is still a dangerous team that can make some noise. So it takes you back to the question is why? Why trade him right here, right now for, again, I'll say, Harrison, the prospects, sure, they're not bad potential players, right? But for an overall package that doesn't really knock your socks off and doesn't help you at all at the major league level right now, what is the reason to trade him at this point?
There is none. I don't see the reason at all for the Red Sox. There feels like no reason to move him now. I'm really confused by this one from the Red Sox point of view. It
takes you back to the take that the Boston Red Sox keep acting like a small market team, and it continues to hurt them. There is a reason why the Red Sox haven't had the success that you're used to any Boston pro sports team having since, when was the last time? 2018? But overall, just they haven't got it done. And it's moves like this that keeps them down. I don't think this is a good move from the Red Sox. It's like, they get dumped the contract. Sure. But you go and look at current contracts in today's day and age, $700 million, $800 million. Vlad just got $500 million. I don't think $300 million for an elite bat is a bad contract.
Yeah, no, I think you're telling people that fire hydrants are red and the sky is blue here. No kidding that this is a bad move for the Red Sox, Everybody online that I've seen has been dunking on the Red Sox, so I don't think that you're alone. I saw the graded a C- from one of the athletic writers. It's not a good one. So, yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot right here. Where are you grading the Giants and the Red Sox in this trade?
Giants, I'm gonna go with a B plus. I like this move for, obviously they're inheriting a big offensive presence, and they're gaining they're gaining a offensive presence. Rafi Devers can be the offensive presence on a baseball team. Not that he doesn't have a supporting cast, but he can be the main star, the main offensive presence on a baseball team. B plus. I mean, you could linger on A minus if you wanted to. I'll go B plus for the sake of this one. For the Red Sox here,
fair.
I mean, I'll be kind and I'll go C. I mean, the move to dump Rafi right now doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, C minus is probably where I'm sitting personally. I don't know, man. You moved, so you gained a bunch of question marks. That's what you got. You got a bunch of guys that you're not 100% sure on, and you knew that Rafi Devers was very, very good at hitting a baseball, and you moved him away, and you got a bunch of question marks. That's what you got. I don't know if I like that. I'll go C minus on the other side of this. So B plus, C minus for the two teams involved.
Okay, you're being nicer for the Red Sox than I would be here. For the Giants, for me, I think there was I'd have to go and look at everybody who was available, what would have been traded, all that. But was DH your biggest need? No. But, I mean, you go and upgrade to Rafael Devers, I mean, that's pretty solid. So I'll go and give the Giants an A minus here because it really shows they're going for it. They're truly trying to not just make the postseason, but to win the West and possibly their first World Series since 2014.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. So I will give them an A minus here. For the Red Sox, I've stated why I don't like this. They can afford his contract. It's not a bad contract. It's an elite player. And I'll be honest, I don't think Boston uses that money elsewhere. I think this is just not a team
with you.
who, or at least not use it right. They're going to do something really stupid. And I don't think they're that well run as a team, as a franchise since, their last world championship. I'm going to give the Red Sox a D minus here. I hate this trade. I hate it, especially after you go and get a sweep of your most hated rival and you're only half a game out of a spot and you go and trade your franchise player. I think it's idiotic. I think this is a horrific trade for Boston at this point in time.
At this point in time, I'll go, I'd lower it if we're talking, right now. I think D is probably the fair D plus, if you will. But I think, there is still, Kyle Harrison, we talked about that Red Sox rotation. He could be good in AAA and step up when they need him to. Is it not going to make it?
It's like if you believed in him, you put him there right now, though. Why is he even be an option down there with the troubles you've had?
That's fair enough, I guess. I don't know.
I think Harrison can be solid. I think the other two guys can be solid. Hicks he's not very good. But the other guys, it's okay, yeah, they're all question marks, right? That's how these trades go down and whatever. So, of course, no one knows anything right now, sure. But I do know that you traded one of the game's elite hitters when you're only half a game out of wild card spot. I think this is really stupid from Boston.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with very dumb for Boston. But the question mark thing is still, they're question marks, right? Anything could happen. We're talking about, James Tibbs could dominate, right? That's part of this. That's why I'm very conservative with
and we'll have different grades in 3 years from now.
Right. That's just, yep. It could be an F. It could be an A plus and an F if the Giants win a World Series, an A plus. It is.
Yep.